Throwing accuracy, throwing power, the ability to read and react to coverages, speed, and mobility. These are the traits one looks for in an NFL quarterback, and these were the traits once put to the test in the NFL's Quarterback Challenge. Lasting from 1990 to 2007, this NFL offseason competition pitted some of the league's top signal callers in a series of events to determine the best. Hosted on the Hawaiian island of Kauai, the challenge consisted of four distinct events. First up was speed and mobility. For this event, the quarterback would run a simple obstacle course, first rolling right and ducking under a bar, before moving back across the field and slaloming between two cones, before finally hurdling a low bar and throwing at a target. The more accurate, the better, as hitting closer to the center deducted time from the run, and an outright miss would add to it. Rick Meyer's 7.61 seconds in 1995 was the all-time record. In this event, all quarterbacks would run the course once, before the top two would run it again in a playoff to determine the event's winner, via their cumulative time. Next up was accuracy. For this event, the quarterback would move through a series of three tables, throwing at moving targets across the field. The first two would consist of three throws each. First at medium-range targets that drifted further up the field as it moved in a post route, followed then by a close-range target that came straight across the field like an in route, before then moving to the final table and having one throw at a target moving very deep, running in a deep post, or checking down to a closer target for less points. The first two tables combined for a maximum of 60 points, depending on their accuracy, and the final throw was worth up to 24 for a bullseye on the deeper target. The all-time record was set by Troy Aikman in 1995 with an outstanding 80 of 84 available points. After that, we had the long-distance throw. This event was fairly straightforward. It was very akin to the javelin throw seen at track and field events, as the quarterback would take a running head start before stopping and releasing the throw before a fault line, shooting for the furthest distance. The all-time record was Vinny Testaverde's 80 yards in 1998, and every quarterback would get two throws, with the longest throw taking the event. And finally, there was read and recognition. For this event, the moving targets would return, most of which would be moving in known routes, while a final one would be static. The reading and reacting coming from the fact the quarterback would not know which targets would be eligible to be thrown to until the round had started, as they would bear a yellow flag. In addition, the points would increase based on how far back the target was, the close ones being worth 6, 8, or 12, the mediums being worth 18, 27, or 36, and the deep one being 30, 45, or 60. Though the combination for eligible receivers would be different for every player, they would have the opportunity for the same amount of points across their four throws as everyone else. The all-time record was set at 129 by Scott Mitchell in 1998. Points would be awarded after every round based on the quarterback's placement in the event, and a champion would be crowned based off their cumulative performance. So seeing high-end talent throughout much of its run, with the likes of both Dan Marino and Randall Cunningham being multi-time champions, by the end of its run, much of its luster had worn off, being moved from Hawaii to the Cayman Islands, and its final two champions being less than superstars in Chris Sims and Josh McCown. In fact, that win for McCown was never broadcast, despite being filmed for television. Though now long in the NFL's rearview mirror, its legacy lives on, as in 2016, the Pro Bowl added a skills competition to its annual festivities, including events focused on passing. However, if you still long for the competition of old, fret not, as it was immortalized not once, but twice in digital form. First in 2D in 1994's Quarterback Club for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, before then making the leap to 3D in NFL Quarterback Club 2002 for the PS2 and GameCube, the latter of which has a pretty decent creative player feature, as well as a CPU-only mode. So if you'd like to add the stars today, you could.